Hello everybody, welcome to the Hobby Streakers. My name is JG, I'm joined as always by Liam.
Hello!
Liam today is on 4 years plus 1 day. So yesterday was your 4-year anniversary of Hobby Streak. So for those who do not know what a Hobby Streak is, every day we do 30 minutes of hobby or hobby related activities. That can be assembly, painting, it extended to 3D printing. I've seen people do lists, RPGs, board games, I mean you name it, as long as you're doing something hobby related and you consider that you've spent 30 minutes, then hey, you're good to go. So, today, let's see. Well, so Liam, 2 weeks ago you went to your brother's wedding. So how was that? Congrats on your brother again, for your brother.
Yeah. I don't know if he even watches, but he should. Kick his ass.
Well, he might be a bit busy right now, so... Yeah.
Well, he's back at work.
Already? Jeez. So they didn't go like honeymoon or anything?
They had a week in Hungary.
Alright, cool. Nice.
So, yeah, it was a nice day. Well, apart from the weather, but that's because we live in
England,
Britain, where the weather is always garbage.
Yeah, that's just,
So it was especially wet, windy.
Yeah.
The other Friday, so that was fun. Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah, cool. And so, how was the...
Took a little box of...
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Took a little box of paints up. Grossly overestimated the amount of painting I'd be doing. So we booked ourselves into the guest house. Went across the road, had some dinner in a pub. Got back to the guest house. I had a shower. My youngest brother went to my parents' room to watch TV and just read a book and just hang out, so he didn't have to be in the room while I was taking a shower. And I've sat up. Laid all my paints out and taken a picture of all my paints.
Yeah, it was,
so for me, the secret project bit at the moment is just it's fun watching people guess.
Oh,
so my brother who's getting married was like, oh, he's got 3 different greens there, and he's doing the green and the gold. So that must mean he must be doing something green. And I'm like, sure. If you want to believe that, you can believe that. I'm not going to tell. And he's like, oh, you're good.
I think I know kind of what it is, but again...
It's because I've shown you.
Yeah, but even, like, you know that even showing me it doesn't really... I mean... People know you're doing GW, right? Because you're of the base. Well, actually, no. You could actually use something else than GW, but GW base. So
let's just have a look at this small mug full of spare workshop bases that I've got sat right next to me.
So yeah, exactly. So well, if it's GW, I have no idea what they are because, as we all know, I have no clue what GW produces mostly. I've seen a few things, but again, not what I usually paint.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm very limited to what I paint. So even if it's something that I don't necessarily, I've not done, or I'm not currently doing, I'm not sure we would even be able to tell like what exactly you're doing. So
yeah,
they look cool. Yes, there is more than one. Ooh, big reveal. More than one. It's like, oh, no. I just
I
sold,
got the
I just sold
basing
you
done.
out.
I got the basing done while I was in the hotel.
Yeah, which
So,
is yeah.
I used maybe 3 pots out of like the 9 or 10 that I bought.
Well, yeah, but if you know that if you had bought like 8,
Yeah, if
the
I
one
if
that
I
you would
just
have
bought those 3
needed,
pots
yeah.
for the basing,
Oh, you would have
I'd
needed.
have cracked through it in no time and been sat there the rest of the evening going,
Now
Now
what? And then you would have
So-
or you would have be like, oh, I'm not gonna take that one, and then you're gonna end up being the thing that you're.
like the
you
night
would need,
before
so.
when I was packing the stuff to put in the box, I was like, oh, I packed all the stuff in the morning before I went to work. Got halfway through my day at work. Text my mum to go, oh, remind me to put white paint in the pot so I can do that. I didn't even use it.
Yeah. Of course.
So yeah, we are on day 1461 today,
Which is impressive.
if I'm counting properly, which I probably am.
Very proud.
I'm pretty
very
sure.
Impressive. So.
Pretty sure the other day was 1460. So yeah, for it's because of the way that counting works. The actual anniversary of me starting was Sunday, so I did a little.
No, it was Monday. The real anniversary was Monday.
Yeah.
But Sunday you did, yeah.
Yeah. So I put a little poll up. I was like, "Hey guys, do you want to do a meet up? Do you want me to do a live stream?" And everybody was like, "Let's do a live stream. Do a live stream." And I was like, "Oh, that's going to be on my Instagram, right?" And everybody went silent. And I was like, "Well, I want to go up to Warhammer World because I've not been up to Warhammer World in 2 years because of, viruses and pandemics."
Really? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I haven't been out of my house in 2 years. By choice. No, I'm just kidding.
So I was like, right, screw democracy. I'm going to Nottingham. And then Sunday morning, got up, had a text from the water company going, "Oh, by the way, there's some waterworks in your area, so turn your water off." So, alright, okay, right. I'm not going to be that guy and go and stink the whole place out.
Yeah.
So, back to plan A.
Doing a stream.
Do the live stream. So I did a live stream. Had a few people pop in and out. And
yeah, I tried to be there. I had to go after a little bit to fit,
because it
to
was
fit the gremlins.
2 days after bonfire night in the UK.
Which
like
for the non-UK people like me, that I had no clue what the hell that was. Remember the 5th of November. No, it's not the movie Vendetta, but it is kind of related to
Guy Fawkes.
Yeah,
tried
it's kind of
to
related
blow up
to
Parliament with the king in.
It's related to
and-
what he uses in the movie to explain what he's doing, kind of. But it's still an anniversary that people.
It's a celebration of the time we stopped a really inept Catholic trying to commit terrorism, and we celebrate by burning effigies of him on a bonfire and setting fireworks off, because we're a normal country that does normal things.
Well, we do Bastille Day, so I'm not gonna. French people do Bastille Day. The Americans do some other weird things too, so I'm not gonna. Well, we did Halloween. We had here, so I keep freaking bumping my camera with my brush. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, we had Halloween here.
Yeah, there was a shit ton of fireworks going off outside my window while I was doing my live stream. So if you want to sit and watch me do that, so I can watch the fireworks going off instead of paint, then the live stream is archived.
It was
on my,
quite.
my
It
Insta
was
page.
quite loud. I have to say that. Yeah, it was.
It
was impressively.
My parents were watching out the window. There was.
They were going at it. Yeah.
I live on a close, so it's like a capital letter P.
Yeah. Okay.
And the inside of that is like a green, and there's houses round the outside. You can see everybody hanging out the window to watch the fireworks, and yeah, there's like good couple of £100 worth of
damn it
explosives there. So,
oh.
It's a big round of applause for the guy when he finished setting them all off, which is nice.
So no police showing up, no crap like that.
No, it's just like everybody does it.
For us, like here, well, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but I'm guessing in a lot of places, like if you around the 4th of July, if you start setting up fireworks, like, well, and here I think it's mostly because of like fire risks.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to, because usually it's super dry and everything, and then they just like.
Isn't half your state covered in snow at the moment?
Nope, it's actually.
No, is that gone?
Oh yeah, it melted the next day.
Oh.
And then it snowed again, melted again the next day. Well, so for the people who follow Formula One, and because I do, you know, they were talking about Mexico being 2,200 meters, blah blah blah, so high. That's the altitude I'm in, except that I'm a lot more north of the continent. So basically, we are a high plateau, and it is super high, super dry, and lately, like, it used to not snow that much, but lately it's been snowing. But basically it snows the next day, even if it's around freezing, like, you know, minus, even like -5 in Celsius, or like 30 in Fahrenheit, it's still gonna melt. And the reason is because we're so high, the air density is a lot lower, and apparently 16% oxygen instead of 21, but anyways. And so it doesn't filter the sun as much. So when the sun starts beating down, it gets, like, you stay in the sun here too long and you get burned. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, it's the middle of winter, I won't get a, you know, there's no way I can get a sun, you know, like a sunburn or anything like this. Stay outside for 30 minutes and you'll see. You can start feeling it. Now, most of the time you have a hat and a scarf and all that stuff, so you do not get it. But if you were going, like, you know, in t-shirt or something like this, you can get burned really quickly. So yeah, so that's the big thing here. So when it starts beating down, it just melts everything super quickly. So that sucks, but yeah, it's been really warm for the seasons too. So I think it's done. Like, we're on the last nice week, and then in probably next week it's gonna start being proper winter, where the minus is in Celsius and all that stuff. It's gonna start, and yuck. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, this time Halloween was actually pretty nice. So the kids went and actually in costume, because usually it's so freaking cold that it's like, oh, who's under that giant jacket? Oh yeah, you're whatever. It's like, so you always, I mean, we took, so my son was a Grim Reaper, because he wanted to be a Grim Reaper, so sure. And my daughter was a dragon, sure. Like, they just decided that's what they wanted. I'm not even gonna question it. But, so, my son costume, we actually took it 2 sizes bigger, so that if he needed to, he could put a ginormous winter jacket underneath and still have the thing on top. And he could put like a proper woolly hat under his hood and all that stuff. And so, yeah. And that's usually what you do. Like, here, that's kind of what you do. My daughter didn't have any she had the wing, the mask, and the tail only. So we bought the same thing, like a hoodie to just cover her hair, and that was again 2 sizes too big, so that she could put another sweater underneath and all that. It ended up not being that cold, and so that was pretty good. But there's been some Halloweens where we quickly come back home because the kids are just freezing, and so yeah. So yeah, that was that's pretty much was what happened here. Yeah. So yeah. So you had a whole lot of shoutout.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen your list. It's pretty.
Been a lot of people who have hit milestones.
A lot on
couple of weeks. I've not worked out a good way to save posts on Twitter to remind me to put it on the.
Oh, can you do that on
but on
Instagram?
Instagram, you can just press a little button.
Okay.
And it will add it to a saved collection. So I just refer back to that.
All right. Cool.
So I'm just gonna put a little bit of paint on this guy's knee and foot. I'm going to vamp for time a little bit. Well,
that's good.
I'll
have to fix that.
Do.
Shoot, I almost did. I didn't be able to on that. But yeah, so I did not have any shout out for this week.
There we go. Cool.
So it's all you, man.
So, starting at the top. Let's scroll down a little bit so I can see everything. Yeah. So, number 1 at the top. For 1 full year of being involved in the beautiful hobby that we call painting toy soldiers. Shout out to Miss Ashleyn Gaming.
Yeah.
Who's done her full year. First full year. Not necessarily doing the once every day hobby streak stuff.
Well, I think she's pretty much doing it anyways. Like even if she's not actually recording it. Yeah. She's been doing commissions and stuff.
Switched doing some commissions. Painted a gorgeous Ultramarines Cataphracti Terminator Captain for I think for Hazelberry.
Cool.
And yeah, I think she's got some slots open.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta give her money.
Yeah. Check her out. She's a
much better painter than me.
And you know, it's like I posted, like everybody was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's giving you a compliment. Everybody secretly hates you. You know that, right? We hate how good you are and how much we like your models. It sucks, but we like it, so yeah.
We like looking at toy soldiers.
She is really good. It's really crazy to think that she's been only doing it for a year. I mean, I've been doing it for what, 3 years now? Not even, barely. Yeah, probably 3 years. And I'm sure that in another 3 or 4 years, I still won't be even close to her level. So, yeah. Again.
So, big thumbs for Ashleyn.
Yep. And it was, I think, for her, doing commission was a really good career path. I mean, she definitely has the talent to do it. She probably needs to charge a lot more than she's charging, but you know, that's just my take on it. Because she is that good. But yeah, so if you want a nice centerpiece commission, reach out to her. She will definitely put something on your table that will catch everybody's eyes.
If she's got room to take your commission.
Yeah. If she has room, yeah. But
if not, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait, but, you know, I think the wait will be worth it. Again, if I was playing like big tabletop games and stuff, definitely I would like get one. If you have one major centerpiece that you wanna just always have like on display, or like that piece is gonna stay on the table more than 2 turns. Definitely put it on there. Like, yeah. And again, it's something that you can also display, and so yeah, definitely check her out. Cool.
Right.
All right, go through your list.
400
of people.
days.
Yep.
400 days. That 2 people in the last 2 weeks hit 400 days hobby streak on Instagram.
Woot, woot.
So that's Fire Ruffles, Fire_Ruffles, and Oddhat_mini painting. So go check them out. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them we sent you. And then we had another 2 people on 300 days.
Nice. Getting close, me too.
So there's Simonsaymakepaintplay.
Yeah.
All one word. And Haradrel, who's
Okay.
on day 300 as well. Haradrel, special shout out for him, because as he goes through his count, he goes through other people on that day and likes their post. So I'm getting a flashback to like just over 3 years ago of what I was painting 3 years ago.
Oh,
So,
cool.
I can tell you that on this day, or whatever day he's on now, I was painting Adeptus Titanicus Titans. Green little toy robot heads and missile launchers and Daughters of Cain witch elves was what was on my desk
Cool.
on the just over 300 day mark. And then we've also got the _real_pronoun Jim, who hit 100 days. So go find all of those people.
I got
Give them some likes. Give them some follows.
Yeah, I got a 300 days on Twitter. @CrustMonster hit 300 days on November 6th. I'm trying to go through because I usually tend to post the people, I'm trying to tell them congrats on whatever days.
Yeah.
So I'm going down and I don't see any others.
I tried doing that and then I realised I post a lot of crap.
And you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to KLab 2021, LabK Painting @LabK Painting. Really sad news, and so again, hope everything is looking a bit better, and condolences again. And so again, if you want, just go check his post. But yeah, just shout out to him. Hang in there, dude. All right. Well, yeah, I don't see anything else as far as like actual anniversary this week. So yeah. All right, cool.
The other thing I wanted to point out that I saw that looked really cool was a guy called the Fresh Prince of Biltan.
That's a cool name.
On Twitter, who did Bastian Carthalos. Did a really good tutorial on how to get him done nice and super quick and easy, using a lot of contrast paints over metallics, which is something I'm a big fan of doing.
Yeah.
So go check him out.
Cool. All right, so what we still have no idea what you're painting today. So after all that,
I still got no idea what I'm painting today. Oh.
Well, let me go then. I'm painting this dude, which is, for the people who can see, Mysterio, which I started painting last week. So I'm gonna just continue painting this guy. And so I don't want to do the gold, but I'm gonna have to do the gold on his boots and everything. And I don't have a good gold paint. I need to try the preamble because I think the preamble is a bit better for gold. But anyways, so I'm gonna paint this guy today, hopefully, and I might have to finish one of these little dudes too, which is a little frog man, because I forgot him in the corner of the shelf, and he didn't get his base painted, and he's gonna need it. So, yep.
Very good at not forgetting to do the bases on things, aren't we?
Well, no, this guy is just that I was actually doing all the bases, and it just some reason I missed him in the shelf. I don't know why he was behind, and I didn't catch him. So, and I realized that 2 days ago, and I'm like, ah, oh, god damn it. So yeah.
So, I am painting Vander's Hammerhand. Or more accurately,
does he have a hammer for a hand?
At this precise moment, I am painting his Dracoth. So this is actually Vander's Hammerhand. He's a man with a giant hammer and a big mohawk on his hat.
Okay.
He's part of the list that I'm running at the moment. So
and your painting is Jackov?
I figured I should probably get the actual model for him and build and paint that. So that's what we're doing.
Cool. Alright. And what did you do the past 2 weeks, except the wedding and all that stuff? What did you actually do for your hobby streak?
Scroll faster. Scroll faster. So I finished the first squad for the secret project.
Whoop, whoop.
They're all good. They're all done. They are in a box. So
everybody knows you're painting wood elves, and it's like,
yeah. Absolutely, totally not what I'm painting, unless it is.
Unless it is. But that would be a really good guess from my part. So.
Bought and magnetized some more really useful boxes. So they've got a sheet of magnetic sheet. Don't actually know what it is. In the bottom, super glued that in.
Oh no! So you're putting a metal sheet and then they have magnets, or
it's not
both of them are
a metal sheet. It's kind of like a rubbery A4 size sheet.
Is that the thing that you put on boards to make magnetic boards for putting your stuff on it? Like to make a magnetic board for, like, not forget and for kids and stuff.
Sure, why not? It's all up there. So I've got a couple of those. One of them I did for my secret project, and I've got another couple so that I can finish magnetizing all of the Nighthaunt from Mortal Realms, so that I can just have them in 2 boxes, so that when I get them sold, I can just go, right, here is the complete package.
Are you not keeping
Give me
them?
slightly more money.
Or eventually you want to get you'll get them sold.
I want to get the Nighthaunt sold. They're just sitting around taking up space.
Ah, is that from the magazine that you're not gonna use, basically?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. So yeah, makes sense.
So I painted them all because they were in a exercise in getting stuff painted and painting stuff that I wouldn't normally paint, and
which is always good.
Getting stuff done quickly.
Nice, yeah.
So
cool.
That was them. But at the moment they're just taking up space in the spare room. So just want to get rid of them. The day that I went and picked up all the pre-orders for the new Stormcast stuff, I happened to not have a game scheduled at my club, so I took my stuff, sat in the corner, and I built Bastion Carthalos, the Knight Relictor, and a squad of 2 squads of 5 Vigilers, because they come in 10 to a box, so minimum squad size is 5. So it's like, I can't really see myself running a squad of 10. So I'll just build and paint them as 2 squads of 5, and then if I need more, I'll just buy another box and fluff those up. I've also got, where is it? Don't fall over. This, which is handy.
Cool.
So there's a guy called Pro Painted Studios who does MDF sheets and tokens. So I've got the token set, but he hasn't done the board for those yet. But he does have a board for battle tactics, which are a thing in Age of Sigmar version 3. So you've got space for 8 regular ones there, and then you've got a tracker at the top. So at the beginning of your turn, you just pick the one that you're going to do that turn, that you're going to try that turn, and then you go, right, I'm going to do Honor this turn, and you put that there. And if you do it, great. If you don't do it, just flip it over. And you haven't got it. So
nice. All right.
I glued all the wood together.
Yeah,
sealed it.
That's a good prop.
Sprayed it.
Yeah.
And if I'm really bored and I've got nothing else to do, I'm filling in the insides of the token selection to black. I've got a dice tray from him. I got the tokens for 2nd edition Stormcast book off of him as well. So I've got right behind my screen actually. There we go. Big bag full of tokens.
Are those acrylics?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's the next.
Everything's cooler with acrylic.
I'll talk about it when we go through stuff that I'm doing. But
he's
that's
done a set now for the comic book based superhero game.
Which one? MCP or?
Totally not Marvel Crisis Protocol, because that would be infringing on somebody else's IP.
Well, no.
It's a legally distinct game.
Look at it this way. This is what I don't understand. It's like people calling it. I've seen, you send me the page, like superhero whatever, superhero crisis, and I'm like, you can call it MCP. There's no problem. Like you're not trying to make miniatures. You know what I mean? Like people that will make miniatures of like copies of saying, hey, look at the skull of Mysterio. They usually go, look at this stuff of Mystery Man. Dude, it's Mysterio. Everybody knows it's Mysterio. But they call it Mystery Man because blah, blah, blah. But tokens, I think you're fine. Because it doesn't have to be. It's just a player aid. So it's just like, hey, it's my own creation of acrylic tokens. So yeah, I think I've seen them as acrylic tokens before for MCP on Etsy and so on. And I don't think that's an issue. Like I said, because they're not trying to copy something. Well, they would have to change the logo of the design of the token, which I don't think he did. So maybe, yeah. But again, like, I don't think it's an issue for player aid. The big issues is, like, and I don't understand how they get away with it, where they're like, look at Mystery Man. Yeah, it's Mysterio, dude. And you're just copied the characters. So, but anyways, all right. Anyways, sorry, I digress.
Squad 1, Battle Tactics Tracker, Rob's Bastion, not relative vigilance. Yeah, and I'm almost done with this squad of Vindictors.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to do some final highlights on the Reds and a couple of extra touch-ups. But as I have discovered, I cannot hold a conversation with somebody and do highlights at the same time. So, in the interest of giving JG the opportunity to not talk for 2.5 hours straight, I figured I'd better pull some weight and actually do some co-hosting rather than just sit here and paint.
Yeah, it's fine. Shoes. That was a lot of paint for what I wanted. Damn it.
So I'm painting a dragon horse
thingy. Basically. Cool. Alright, well, let me see what I did. So, it was Halloween, so we had to play a Halloween board game, which we've played before. It's the Horrified board game, which is really fun. So it's there's a few minis which I remember when I got the game. I just ended up painting those minis in like an afternoon. Like super quickly. They still look okay. I mean, it's basically the Universal Studio monsters.
All right.
So those are, you know, like, what's his name? God damn it. You know, Frankenstein's monster, and you know, like all that stuff, like all the weird Dracula,
yeah,
creature of the Black Lagoon, and all that stuff. The Mummy, the Wolfman, and so on and so forth. So
you remember when they were trying to do a cinematic universe for those, and they did one movie and it fell flat on its ass.
No, I don't remember.
Had Tom Cruise in it.
Shit, seriously?
Yeah.
Damn. Alright, well, definitely not then. But so
if you want to go watch a really bad movie, look up The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
That was supposed to be the first film in the Dark Universe cinematic universe.
I thought it was just like a remake of The Mummy with the other one, like
No, that was supposed to be the beginning of something.
Something big that just did not just pan out at all, basically.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well,
it's funny checking up on the project from time to time to see how it's going and see what circle of development hell that it's stuck in.
Well, yeah. Like I said, really cool game, fun game. So we played that, of course, we had to, because it was, again, Halloween. So we played that with the kids, they always like it. So that was one night, but then another game that we've been wanted to play and waiting for me to finish painting the minis is Mice and Mystics. It's a dungeon crawler, and I think I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Some of the first mini that I've painted were Mice and Mystics. I ended up finishing the few that were left. Had a few characters, 2 main characters, all the bases to finished. What a chalk. And so I ended up finally finishing those guys. I still have not primed them, varnished them, so I'm gonna have to do a varnish on them. So that's something that I still need to do, but other than that, they're done. I mean, like, yeah, they're and I've done a really quick job on those, and they're mostly just contrast on zenithal, and then that's it. I didn't even go back to do highlights or anything. I mean, they're just for a board game. The sculpts are not that great, to be honest. On some of them, like it's not even a mode line anymore. I didn't even bother because it's just like, yeah, when you have an arm that's fused to the body, because yeah, it's just the mold is just so crappy. But it's fun. They're painted now, and so hopefully we'll start the campaign soon. We've done the first whole campaign of the main box, and now this is the extension, and so yeah, we were just waiting on me to finish painting and to find the time, because it usually takes a little bit of time. It's not as heavy as Gloomhaven, but it's still pretty heavy as far as setup and stuff like that. Sorry. So yeah, so that was another thing that I did. Halloween again, so decorated some pumpkins. So I found out that there are worse paint than the craft paints, and that's the paint they sell you with those stupid freaking kit to paint your pumpkins. My god, that paint is just nasty. Smells like hell. So I'm guessing they're not even water-based, and it just like they suck. They cover nothing. Well, anyways, the kids did that. They had fun, but it was. Next time I'm just gonna buy a freaking spray can and just spray can the whole thing. If they want to paint it one color, it's gonna be a lot better. But it looks like
they do 2 thin coats.
They don't even need to do 2 thin coats. Seriously, like that paint was just. Anyways, so that was another thing. And then my son was deaf, so he had a scythe. The problem is they were like tubes, plastic tubes connecting, like you screw into one another, and of course you play a little bit with it, and then the tube will bend and break. So I ended up getting a PVC pipe that we had in the garage, and then doing an adapter to basically shove it into one side of the PVC pipes, shove it into the top of the head of the scythe, and then do another plug for the bottom of the PVC pipes that has a little, basically like a little spike. And so I designed those, printed those in with the filament printer, put those on, then wrapped the whole thing in with electrical tape, and that was it. And now he had a brand new size that was actually a lot taller and a lot bigger than what he had before, so that was cool. So I did that. Of course, while doing all this, the printer was freaking acting up, and I was trying to print other parts after, and it just like kept messing up and not printing, and so I ended up cleaning, and the nozzle was clogged again. And I think it's because the filament I was using has been sitting a long time.
Right.
And I think that was the issue. Or maybe my Bowden tube wasn't pushed all the way in, or something like this. But anyways, so I ended up cleaning that again. And then, so I decided that I am gonna finish a freaking game that I can play. So a while back, when I was doing the hobby streak, I did a lot of Frostgrave, and I did pretty much a warband and a half, 2 warbands. I'm pretty sure there's enough dudes for 2 warbands. And so I've got 2 warbands pretty much painted. I still have a couple of dudes and dudettes that are not. And I've got wizards and what their name? So wizards and apprentices that are also built but not painted. And I have a whole bunch of terrain that I've had done before. So all that is done. And so all I was missing was the bestiary. And like most people will have most of those in their collection because they've painted so much stuff for years. And you're like, oh, you need a bear. Pfft, yeah, here's a bear. You need a giant spider. Oh, of course, here's a giant spider. Because there's freaking
How giant would you like? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as you know, I have not done that for a very long time. I don't have that many minis painted and that are not MCP. So I started going through Thingiverse, Yegi, My Mini Factory, basically all the sites that I've talked to before on the 3D printing part of the podcast. And so I went on those sites. I took my trusty Frostgrave book right here. I looked at the bestiary and I started doing line by line. Do I have this? No. Okay, let me find a file. And so I did that. I found all the files that I needed and I ended up printing pretty much all of them with the box that I had from the Nick Starter, I think it was called. Actually, I don't think I did the Nick Starter for Frostgrave. Anyways, from all the stuff that I have for Frostgrave. So as I was saying before, we got a slight little issues.
My internet just died.
So we lost Liam for a second. So I'll probably do a cut in the videos. So don't worry. Everything is fine. So yeah, so I ended up going and like, okay, so bear, I don't have a bear. Boar, I don't have a boar. I need a boar, and so on and so forth. I had, like I was saying, with the kit that I bought, I bought the skeleton and ghouls and zombie pack, where basically I got like 4 zombie, 4 ghouls, and a whole bunch of skeleton soldiers. So, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 soldier skeleton. So those I already had. Everything else, pretty much I went, never mind, I'm just gonna print everything. Including the last thing that I printed, which I don't know if I can reach. Alright, this big dude. Dun, dun, dun. And that's my frost giant. It's really cool. So I did that. While doing this, I realized that I was doing a bunch of stuff that I thought could interest people. So I did a couple of videos. And so that was something new I tried. Boom! Segue! Look at that. So I tried to do some quick tutorial videos. So one was because I was on the previous... So when I was starting to do the Frostgrave, what happened was... So I had those. And I'm gonna try to... So those are toppers for bases that I found for cobblestone. And so that's one on a small base, and those are pretty thin base for the thing. So I had those toppers, and I decided that since most of the models don't have base, and I would have to put a base, might as well just take the toppers, and I was trying to put the toppers inside my 3D program to actually put them on a base that I would have done myself and so on. And I realized that the guy actually who did this on Thingiverse, who made the file, had the templates in there. And so I'm like, huh. And I knew how to do that already, and so I'm like, oh, let me do a quick video how to basically use a file. And I used another file, actually didn't use his file, and I didn't use the cobblestone from his thing, but I used a similar process, and I did a quick tutorial video on how to do that. Basically, how to take a 3D, well, a 2D rendering of like a cobblestone or just stone road or whatever, a wall or whatever you want to do, put that on a base, raise it, and have a texture based, and then just print that. So I went through this. I did the video, quick tutorial, posted it, and then I had to do this big dude, and I did another video for that because this dude was in 2 parts, and I had to figure out how to put it back together with mesh mixer. I can never say it the first time ever. So mesh mixer, and so I use mesh mixer, freaking I can never say that word, to put the 2 parts together. And I did another small tutorial video, and I think I'm gonna keep doing that for the entirety of that Frostgrave project. So I am gonna print a lot of bases because I need to, and because yay, I've got my resin finally, because I was really running out. I had like probably 3 millimeters left in the bottom of the vat. That's all I had left. Bottle came in yesterday, redid my mix 5:1, got that ready, and so I'm gonna start reprinting some bases. I need to see exactly how many of which I need. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna just, as I find something that I need to do, that I think could interest people, like a piece of tutorial somehow, you know, like how to zenithal airbrush. That's probably, I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna have to do it for all those stuff. How I'm gonna put those guys on bases and then put them, you know, on sticks and stuff to print them. And so through that whole process, I think I will document it in a way and do like small 10-minute videos. I'm gonna try to keep them around 10 minutes, where I'm just gonna go like, hey, today, you know, zenithal priming, this is how I do it, done. And today, you know, like how to do this and that and this other thing. And so, and I'll keep documenting it until I'm done with all that stuff. So yeah, all of them turned out okay. I had 3, 4, 5, I think 5, 6 failures. One was the same model 3 times because I copied it from where it was supported. So the bad support were copied 3 times, so they all failed. Well, they don't completely fail. It's just like one leg was gone of the boar. The boar had 3 legs. So yeah. But I reprinted those, so now I have, yeah, my bestiary is done. And so that was one of the big things that I did. And yeah, and tried the tutorial videos. So what did you try during those past 2 weeks?
Today,
well, okay, cool.
Today I went out to my local hobby store. Not my local gaming store, my local hobby store, to see if they had any isopropyl alcohol to start stripping the metal models that I've had sat around that I want to get repainted, and they did not. So I had went back to the car, had a little bit of look, and people were like, right, you could also use white spirit or methylated spirits to do the same job. So I went. Is
that gonna be too aggressive, or is that okay?
It's metal. They're metal minis.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dunk a plastic mini in there and leave it, but metal ones be all right. So I've got 4 old 52mm scale Inquisitor models in a Chinese takeaway box on my back porch, just chilling in white spirit.
Okay.
And give them a brush in the morning, see what's going on.
Alright. Well,
So I was down.
it usually doesn't take that long.
Well,
but is it gonna work?
After about 20-25 minutes, nothing was moving. So
yeah, I don't, because that's the thing. And so when I was doing Gundam, I was using that line panel accent thing.
Yeah.
So you put your paint acrylic, you put that stuff on it, and then you go back with the white spirit, and you will remove that enamel based thing, but you won't remove the acrylic paint.
Right.
So I'm not sure that's gonna work. This is where I'm going with it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me know if it works, because I know that. Well, I've tried a bunch of stuff.
If not, I will have to look slightly harder.
There is the alcohol that you find in hardware store.
Yeah.
Denatured alcohol. That probably works better than that. So that's
that was on
probably
the list of
what I
things.
would go. Yeah.
That was on the list of things for me to have a look at and see if I could find, and I couldn't.
No.
So,
because I would think that they don't use it to make, like, you know, sanitizer and all this.
Yeah.
You don't use the denatured alcohol. I don't think that will work very well to do that, but it works well for stripping minis.
I went with what I could get my hands on.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And,
here the good thing is the what's it called? LA Totally Awesome, because it costs nothing and it works really great.
Yeah. So if that doesn't work, the local equivalent is brown Dettol.
Yeah. Okay.
I will have to go into work on my day off and pick up some brown Dettol.
There is also
see if I can find some IPA.
Yeah, I was gonna say acetone, but acetone again, it will melt your freaking mini. I don't think it will strip the paint because it's shit. Sorry. So that's a paintbrush on the floor with paint on it that almost painted my jeans. And it's gold paint. And that's where my other paintbrush is that I was looking for. Jeez. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright. Yeah, well, let us know how it turns out. Yeah, because, yeah, even acetone I wouldn't... No, it's like, that's the thing, is like, I was using at one point when I was doing Gasland cars, I actually had a spray that I would spray on the cars, leave it for like 10 minutes, and it would foam and bubble and just rip the paint out of those. And I would use it on metal minis. I will not use on plastic minis, because I'm pretty sure that on plastic minis it's just gonna rip everything out and
dissolve the whole thing.
Dissolve the whole freaking thing, yeah. Well, it wasn't dissolving any plastic parts like the windshield or anything like this on those cars, so I don't know. Like, I would be reluctant to use it. But if you have metal minis, that could be something like auto paint remover, stripper. That could be something, because it's metal, so it should be fine. But yeah, that you need to not leave it. You need to just spray one, wait a little bit, and just rinse it right away.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright, well. So, 3D printing, and I already talked about it. Like I said, I've done a lot of 3D printing this week. mostly. So, and I probably, I've touched on it a little bit when I did the giant, but the lychee program, well, the lychee slicer, I should say, it's probably my favorite because it's so simple to use and it gives you great result when you're trying to do supports super quickly. And so yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorite ones because of that, because it's so super quick. I've seen people, they're like, oh, I just spent 30 minutes, you know, supporting 3 minis. And I'm like, dude, I spent like 30 seconds supporting 6 minis. I was like, in one plate. Not even. I mean, I think that's for that software is just awesome because it just works so out of the box. You can do so much like right away. So yeah, I might do a small, more in-depth tutorial on it with some minis and just show the process. That might be my next quick video. So yeah, hopefully that also will get more views on the channel, so we'll see. But yeah, that's about all I have. Like I said, 3D printing lately, I've just been cranking up 3D printing a lot. I still want to do the construction site for MCP, but that's gonna be all in filament, and I ran out of filament, and I've been printing with my orange filament, which I am not gonna build terrain. And you're like, well, yeah, but you're still gonna prime on top. Yeah, but you prime on top of white or black, it's fine. You prime on top of orange, and it's such a pain because it will still show. Like, it will show if you miss a little spot, it will show right away. I mean, it's just not practical at all. So that's definitely something I do not recommend. So I will still print. I printed one, yay, before everything went, like before I ran out of filament and everything. I did print one, so I'm really happy how it turned out. It's not perfect on the top, but I think my printer is a little bit more dialed in since. And so yeah, I've been printing a lot of my hook for preventing the dog from going into the room. He's not supposed to go, and let the cat go in those rooms so they are safe from him just bothering them. So yeah, and the kids keep breaking them. So
yeah, that's what kids are for.
Well, I've changed the design probably 6 or 7 times. Every time was like, oh, it's not grabbing the thing. Well, so let me just change the hook a little bit, because the dog figured out that if he pushed hard enough he would get through. And then, oh, it broke at the seam, so let me reinforce the seam, because that's where it broke like 3 times. And so I've been I think I've got to one that's pretty good now. It's been on my son's door for a week and it's still not broken, so that's a plus. Man, I've been completely off camera today. I'm sorry. Jeez, I've not been really good at keeping it on.
So you know how before we started I was like, yeah, I've charged my phone, I'll be able to get the, and then my face camera just went.
Yep. Do you still have battery on your phone though?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like almost fully charged when we started. So
anyways, with all that, we ran a streaker poll on, and that was a suggestion from one of our Discord members. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this done. And so we'd ask about the drawback of the hobby, you know, and because we've talked about a lot about the positive as far as, you know, it's a good way to clear your mind. It's a good way to have something to do. Gives you a satisfaction of achieving something with your hands and so on and so forth. So yeah, we've talked in length about the good part of the hobby. Now, what are the bad parts? And so the 4 questions that I've put were, well, the four possible answer that I've put, and I'm sure there's more than that, but those were the 4 more.
Twitter only lets you put 4
more obvious. Let's just put it that way. And so, time, money. So those were the big ones, and they scored the most. But that you don't have any times for any other hobby. So basically, that would be also, that's kind of like related to taking up too much of your time. But you know, like some people can see it as you might not have the time. Well, it's taking a lot of your time, but you can still do other hobbies. You know, like a lot of people like to play video games or something or whatever. But this was like, you know what, this is taking so much of my time or so much of my attention that I actually don't have any other hobby. And you know, like you have karate. That's definitely another, well, I don't know if you want to call it a hobby because you're actually teaching and stuff, so I don't consider it necessarily a hobby, but is it a hobby for you? I don't know. You tell me.
Karate is a way of life.
All right, sure, yep. Well, so yeah, here you go. So not even a hobby. Damn it. No, but like some other people will have.
I mean,
they will have, you know, like.
I put karate above toy soldiers in how I rank what gets my time. So.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like for me, you know, my kids and my family will all come first, but. Yeah, I think that, yeah, it's there are times where you can think that, and I think that's mostly for maybe more like content creator might have that issue, because if you start doing, and I'm doing quick videos, I'm trying to do it one take, and I'm trying to not, you know, spend 3 hours doing the editing, and so. But I could see how, if you wanted to crank up videos and stuff, that could become an issue real quick. Like, it would take so much of your time, you won't have time for anything else. So yeah, definitely. And some people might think, you know, might start seeing it as a
chore,
stepping over some of their duties as, you know, like a family member or something. And so yeah, and I could see that being an issue, and that's why it was in there. Now the last one, and I think the last one is something that would have been a lot more of an issue a few years back, and that's, I put perception of others. And I know that a lot of people were talking about this, where they were like, oh, I never told anyone that I was doing toy soldiers because they would not understand, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth, and my family have no idea I'm doing this because I don't want them to, you know, like make fun of me or whatever. And I was like, man, I don't think that's such a big issue today.
No.
I think a lot less, and it might have come from, you know, like people like Calvin being like, I'm painting Warhammer and I am Superman and F you all. It's like, or
Henry Cavill is the biggest nerd.
Hey, look at this God, and I never know his name. The guy that does RPGs. God damn it. And there's there's that famous photo of the guy that's like, you know, flexing his muscle, and he's like, I don't play D&D. And then there's this guy, something.
Joe something or other, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I do. And he's like twice as ripped as the other dude. Yeah. And you're like, yeah. And that's also, like, you know, like those guys, like everybody's like, oh, those guys are cool. Yeah, and they play freaking, you know, like they play D&D, they play Warhammer, they build like...
Vin Diesel ran a D&D game for Dame Judi Dench on the set of The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, like those kind of things were not talked to before, and I think that stigmata of being like, oh, you're fucking nerds and blah 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 blah, that's just gone. And I'm like really happy.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of that. But
there's still some there. Well, there's still some, but usually those people don't. You know, like I don't think it hurts as much as, you know, like people right now like, oh, you're a nerd, and they're like, yeah, so what? You know, it's not an insult anymore. And I think that there's a lot of guys that everybody consider super cool or freaking rip or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I play D&D. Sure, of course, I love D&D. Oh yeah, I paint tall soldiers. Oh yeah, I play board games. Yeah, I do. And I was like, I play video games. I build my own computer, and I do all these things, and things that people were like, yeah, would have been nerds before and seen kind of like in a bad way. Nerds today are not viewed in a bad way at all, and I think that that's really good. And I was happy that this got no vote. Like nobody went, oh yeah, no, yeah, I don't, you know, yeah, I don't want people to know that I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, it's just, dude, who cares? Like, if they are making fun of you, or if they are, you know, berated you because of what you're doing, then, and they're, if you call them your friends, then they're not. Like, honestly, they're not. Because they can be like, okay, that's fine, I am not at all interested in that stuff, and we have this other thing in common, that's fine. And that would be fine. But if they start, you know, like really being aggressive about the fact that you're doing this or that, then they're not good friends. Like, really not. You know, you can have different hobbies. It's not because your group of friends doesn't do this or that you should not do it. If you want to do it, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, you want to go LARPing? Fucking go LARPing. Who cares? You know, cosplay and all this, it has become a lot more mainstream as well. And I think that's one of the things that people realize, that they don't have to be like,
yeah, I mean,
hiding that kind of things.
For as much as everybody hates on it, I mean, Big Bang Theory helped.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's about all it did, was bring nerddom into the public eye. And then you've got stuff like Game of Thrones. Again, not saying anything about how that turned out, but
I still haven't gone through past the first season.
No,
So,
but
yeah.
that helped.
No, definitely that helped bring forth
nerddom into the public eye, and now you've got.
Oh, and the Ring, the Fellowship of the Ring, and all this stuff, and the Hobbit, and, you know, like, all this, like, probably the first big thing was Tron.
Today,
yep,
there were 2 WWE wrestlers got a guided tour of Warhammer World from the Warhammer TV presenters.
Jeez. Yeah,
because
that...
One of them has been wearing a lot of workshop-inspired, like, rash guards and fitness wear and stuff when she's been in the ring.
Look at it this way. They do cosplay all the freaking time. That's all it is. Yeah. Isn't wrestling like freaking cosplay? I mean, come on. It's LARPing. They're freaking LARPing as pretend fight. Hey, come on. You've been LARPing for freaking years, dude. You just didn't call it that. Yeah. So, but yeah.
But yeah, they got a tour of Warhammer World, and I was like,
that's pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Yep.
No, definitely. You know, like. No.
And they will kick your ass if you call them a nerd.
Well, so are they real wrestler or the TV BS wrestling?
WWE.
So yeah, so well, they're still freaking athletes because one of the things that they freaking do, like, if
they've still got to fucking work out.
Yeah, because then, you know, they take you, they spin you, they fucking slam you on the thing, you're gonna hurt. Like, if you don't fall, if you don't know how to fall and all this, you're gonna freaking hurt. And you're gonna end up in the hospital with probably a broken neck. So
Remember, boys and girls,
don't do that.
Practice ukemi.
No, but like, don't, like, this is one of the things that don't try to do wrestling moves at home. That's just fucking dangerous.
Learn how to fall over.
They are really trained and they know what the fuck they're doing. Like, really, like. You need to, like, this is, and we can make fun of it and it's all, you know, like, show and stuff, but they are still freaking athletes. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Again, like, I'm really glad that part of it is gone. And also, like, superhero movies.
Yeah.
I mean, superhero before were just like, oh, you're reading your comic books and blah, blah, blah. And that's probably like in the freaking 70s and 80s, you know, it's not, I think that a lot of those have been gone for a long time, and there's been a shift in the society where it's not necessarily that, you know, people are still not being dick about it, but people just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it goes with, you know, like, the gay, lesbian, trans movement and all this, where people are just like, this is who I am. You don't like it, just, I don't care. The problem is not a lot of people say I don't care. There's still a lot of people that get offended and stuff for nothing, but... And I'm like, just don't answer those people. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for confrontation, they're looking for attention, they're looking for making waves. And I think that the more it goes, the more, like, I'm hoping that people are just gonna be like, this is it. You like it, you don't. Doesn't really matter to me. This is what I do. This is what I like. This is what I am. This is who I am. You know. And hopefully all that will keep moving forward. But yeah. Not like, so I was trying to read a little bit on the subject. And one thing that I did not consider, and I don't know if that is something that we see it in a hobby, but they were talking about board game addiction, and I don't know if that's something that, I don't know if we can say that we're, you know, like, we hear people sometimes refer to plastic crack and all that stuff, you know. Is it something that you've seen, like, where you want to tell, you know, one of your friend or whatever, like, someone that you know, you want to tell him, you know, like, you need to stop, either because they get
Alex.
well, either because they're too competitive or because they're just getting into like 30 different games and buying everything that comes out. And
hi, Alex.
Well, that's not good, man. Like, I didn't think that was something that, you know, like, that you could get, because I guess addiction is for anything and everything. Yeah. So, but I did not consider it at all for board game and tabletop games and things like this. And so, yeah. Well, Alex and other people, if you're listening, just yeah, think about it.
Hey, buddy, maybe don't back that other Kickstarter all in for another board game. that is going to take up space in your wife's office that you're not going to play.
I am
Or
not
do.
gonna say. I am not gonna say.
If you can afford it, and you
not
don't
gonna
mind
do
your wife trying to murder you. I'm not the boss of you.
No, yeah, it's. And I think FOMO is a big.
Oh, I mean,
The
yeah,
the famous fear of missing out for the people who don't know what FOMO means. And I think a lot of companies are playing on that.
That's Workshop's main marketing strategy at the moment for anybody paying attention.
And and that's Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is FOMO. Because it's gonna be like exclusive Kickstarter, and you can only get on this, and that's gonna be
I
like
get it a third off if I back the Kickstarter all the way, and that's all the expansions.
Yeah. Well,
Play it that way.
There's Monsterpocalypse just running right now, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so cool. No, like this one, and I will explain why.
We're also not going to mention the entire cupboard I have full of the Dark Souls board game and all the expansions for that.
Yeah. So yeah. So, Mister, huh? No, but yeah.
For all I'm giving my buddy shit, I'm also in on the problem.
Yeah. When are you gonna print those Ad Astra minis? Shut up. Exactly.
When I finish my Stormcast.
No, and we all like. I think that's and I think it's the same in all the hobbies. You know, like, I can go downstairs in my wife's hobby room and just point at things and tell my wife, really? You really thought you were gonna do this? But you can if you want. She has the whole set of whatever thing to do crochet and whatever. So she did one crochet and then she hasn't done anymore. And she'll probably do a few more down the line and all this. But yeah, it's always it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what hobby you're in. You know, it's a computer. People that build computer. You had to get the latest graphic card. Your graphic card is 3 months old. You really had to get the new one and resell this one to. It's like, you know.
I mean, I also know people at karate who've got a different gi for every day of the week.
Jeez. Wow.
Those aren't cheap. Especially good ones.
Oh. But yeah, so...
Yeah. I think the main thing with the time... No. The main thing with the cost thing does come into the whole FOMO stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we get into the news, then we'll get into that.
We'll get into that, yeah. No,
but,
I think
like the Warhammer Day previews that they did, that Workshop did.
Yeah, it's all FOMO.
Couple of weeks
all
ago.
Like, oh, your pre-order are gonna be that day.
I was sat there with my buddy Simon in our Discord for my gaming club, and we were watching that, and I was like, oh, the new Warcry box looks so good. And then, like, the day after, they put this is up for pre-order next week stuff up, and the Warcry box is on there, and I've gone like, I've just bought all the new Stormcast stuff.
Yeah.
I want that, but I'm also going to have to, like, behave myself.
Dude, they've been putting a lot of things out, GW lately, or is it me? I feel like they've been really cranking out their...
I think that they've had a backlog of stuff that they wanted to release.
And so they
haven't been able to release because of, like,
everything.
COVID and Brexit and international shipping crises.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's still
boats getting stuck in
freaking,
canals and stuff like that.
It's still a freaking pain, by the way. International shipping,
It is absolutely still a thing, but they're starting to get more on top of it.
Yeah, no. I think they've got something going that they can rely on now, where they can go like, okay, this is how long it's gonna take. This is how much it's gonna cost. This is how much we can charge.
So
hey, we're back at it.
Their marketing guys and their release schedule guys are probably working their asses off to try and get back on their schedule.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of
that would make
really
sense,
short turnarounds.
Yeah.
From like reveal to release.
Yeah, because it used to be like reveal and then release was like a month, if not more, after. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's been surprising to see like how fast they've been releasing stuff. Like, hey, look at that. That's a preview. Oh, by the way, pre-order next week. It's like, what?
What?
Well, except the dragons, because they know that Liam wants them, so they're just not gonna release those ever. They're just.
I mean, that was one of the reasons I wanted to go up to Warhammer World the other day, is to sit outside the front and go, "Where's my dragons?
Where's my dragon? Where's my freaking dragon? Give me my dragon!"
Just get a big boombox and get that Daenerys line from Game of Thrones. Just go, "Where are my dragons?"
Yeah. But yeah, makes sense. Well, so why don't you keep going with our friends from Warhammer and tell us a bit more about the news that you're having there.
Just wash my brush super quick.
Is that what the Kills call it, did they? Wash my brush?
Wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Alright, well, I've done the gold.
Did you see any of the stuff from the Warhammer Day preview?
Do I need to I think I might have seen some of it.
Do we have the opportunity to do
okay,
another JG live react?
Live reactions, let's go.
So I think on the Google Doc.
So, which one do you want to start with? The Warhammer Day? Alright, let's go.
Welcome to the amazing Warhammer Day preview online.
Dun dun dun! Day preview online! Preview online!
You're gonna get that. You're gonna scroll down a little bit. You're gonna see their little
30th October
Twitch VOD. You're gonna pause and mute that. So you don't want to be looking at that.
It's mute. It's pause. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've seen this one. I've seen the guys with the 3 arms.
Okay. So we're gonna click through to that article.
Okay, find out
so
more.
We've got
I've seen. So that's Necromunda.
Take the fight to terror itself with the next battle box and codexes for Warhammer 40k.
Yeah. This one.
This
so
is one of the silhouettes they had previewed was the custodian with the sword there.
So that's where there is a Gene Stealer cult that went under the throne on Terra, whatever they want to call it, Earth, basically. Yeah. And it just
As somebody who keeps up with the lore more than he keeps up with the game for 40k, this is a bad thing.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. I think I kind of understand. What really got me laughing was that I actually was watching I did the Warhammer Day rerun, I think, on Twitch.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this, and they're like, "Oh, look at how dynamic that pose is." And I'm like, "Really? Dude, the guy is running. Like, he's barely running. It gives me a feel of he's gonna fall over."
Yeah.
But
I like the Gene Stealer cult.
Oh yeah. I like the burn face. Oh, I love the burn face. The burn face is really cool. Now I like that one, and that's again. Dynamic, expressive can be 2 different things, and I think that first one is supposed to be dynamic, but okay. But the second one is really expressive, like the face, the pose, and everything. It's really good. I like it. like the Gene Stealer thing. Cool. And then they show all the battles
and the books.
And then they show like battles and stuff. And did they show any other models, or is it just
that the other models that are in that box are part of the existing range? When they do, the colloquial term for this is a battle box. So it's not a starter set. It's just basically 2 army starters in the same box. They tend to sweeten the deal and put an exclusive, or put a hero in for each side that isn't going to be like otherwise available for like another couple of months.
Okay, cool.
To drive sales for that. So that's the 40k one.
Yeah.
And then we're scrolling down on the main
article. So
article.
then there's a book.
We've got Maggot King of Nurgle.
That's a book, right? That's just a book.
There is a model.
There is a model.
With
is that the big dude that's got the thing coming out?
It's
Flyman. Oh yeah.
So again, you've got 2 choices ahead. You've got and you've got buzz, 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 I'm a fly.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing as far as the game goes, because
sculpt is really good. Artistically, don't like it. Personal choice, not a big fan of. Never been a big fan of Nurgle.
This book was like one of.
It's disgusting. It's well made.
First edition.
But yeah, not cool. But yeah, all right, fine.
This faction didn't have a book in 2nd edition at all.
Yeah. So then Dungeon Ball.
This is good for
that
them.
one. I heard about it. So basically Blood Bowl, but in a dungeon, and yeah.
Apparently this was already a thing, like when Blood Bowl was a thing way back in the long mists of time.
Oh, the rats are pretty cool. I like
this is, I believe, pre-existing miniatures.
Yeah, again, it's like the first time I've seen any of those miniatures, but
I honestly don't pay attention to Blood Bowl, so.
Yeah, well, I've seen a few that they have some cool sculpt. It's the game itself that's interesting to have that evolution of the game in a way, like going back to something they used to do. But yeah, Warcry, that one I've seen. I love those models, and I do not want to buy that box. I do not want to buy that box. I do not. If I say it enough time, I'll be a. Stay true. I do not want to buy that. I know. I think they are either very dynamic, like the guy jumping spider thing, really well made because it's the piece of cloth that's holding the guy and not a freaking plastic stick up his ass.
Yeah.
Transparent thing that I find absolutely just makes no sense today that they have to do this, but. And they all, like, all the spider have a lot of characters. They're running. They are models that I expect from. That this is the level of sculpting and dynamism and or expressiveness that I expect from Games Workshop. Like they're freaking cool. I just really like those models.
The Dark Oath as well.
And that's what I was gonna come at. Yeah. I think they are also, like, their expression on their faces is just awesome. Like, you don't have that much people that are screaming or, you know, like, mouths open that don't look like they're just trying to gob a freaking eggs. And those don't. Like, they look like they're in pain or they're, you know, like, struggling or, like, they are freaking awesome.
And like the old witch with no eyes and
with the eye in the that's awesome. Like that is a really cool touch. Like, come on, that's really cool.
And the thing that they pointed out on the stream was, look at the size of that eye compared to her.
Yeah, that's
where's
not
that eye
eye
come from? Who knows? Moving on.
Yeah, no, and I think that's are they supposed to be women in there? Scary barbarian women.
Witch Lady's a lady. There's
the top one there, I think is
there's a couple.
There's a few girl. There's a few women too.
There's one that's totally not Red Sonja with a big axe.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like they all those models. This is why, like, this is the kind of thing that this will make me buy freaking Warcry, just because those models are awesome. Like this is what I expect all models to look like. Not exactly look like, but I mean like the sculpt and the pose and all this thing. This is what I expect from GW. Like, and I've seen those before, and this is what I was like. Already Warcry was something that really tempted me. And so, yeah, when I saw those models, I was like, oh, come on, no!
And a little bit further down on that article, you've got all the terrain.
Terrain, yeah. Which apparently is... Some of it is from previous terrain, yeah.
There's another shot somewhere.
But this is what's really cool, like...
With all the terrain sprues on, and I was looking at that going... Yeah, I've definitely got some of that already.
This is good because...
The barricades and all the spike barricades.
This is what's tempting also for me, is that you buy this, you're done.
Yep.
Like, you have a game. You have a game you can play. It's like a board game version of... It's a true starter pack.
Yep.
You buy this, you can play. You can play 20 freaking games. None of them are going to be the same. You can move the terrain around. But you have the terrain, you have the guys, you have the boards, you have everything you need.
Oh, well, like, for especially for Warcry, you roll on a deployment map, and it tells you where the train goes.
Yeah.
And then you've got a different card for the deployment, which tells you where you're coming in.
Yeah.
And then you've got a different card or table to roll on for the objective you're playing. So you are literally never going to play the same game twice.
Because you have, what, 3-4 options per card, so you got 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and here you go. You have a whole lot of games that you can play.
It's at least 6 for each, because it's all D6 based.
So you got 6 power 4, basically, of what you can do. Awesome. That's a lot.
I've not got the deck of cards in here.
But yeah, no, but that basically, yeah. And like I said, like, this for me would be something that, I would be like, fuck, yeah, I want that. Like, this is really good.
There's going to be more that will come with...
the more I look at those spider people, like...
there's the everything in the box picture. So you're going to have the core rulebook, which is going to have the 6x6
all the cards,
6x6 stuff.
All the dice,
the red
all
harvest
the tokens.
Book. The red harvest book will have more stuff in.
God, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, so definitely, again,
Warcry, big thumbs. Just not right this second. I'm still financially recovering from Stormcast.
Yeah, I'm still
Just chill a bit. Workshop.
Yeah.
It's also
when is it coming? Is it out already? No. Tell me it's next year.
It was on pre-order Saturday gone, so coming out this Saturday.
No, not if there's still some by March next year, maybe. Maybe.
I might get it as a Christmas present to myself.
Warhammer Underworld Arrow Deep. Is the monkey? Is that the monkey with the knife? Yes, it's the monkey with the knife. I've seen that one. So
people are like, there's some sort of pirate thing coming, and like the guys over at Warhammer Weekly, for like ages have been going, vampire pirates, vampire pirates, vampire pirates, vampire pirates, and just not got anything off of that. So now we've got an ogre pirate who's got a cutlass as big as a man. He's stolen a dwarf cannon that he is using one-handed as a pistol.
You've got a little monkey with a knife, holding a knife in his tail. That's freaking awesome. And some little...
The grot with the Noblar with an anchor. And you've got
peg leg.
The murder parrot and...
murder parrot, yeah.
Peg leg Noblar. So again, cool. This is like the Warhammer Underworlds.
They're
where they can just
nice.
Go nuts with what they're sculpting.
Yeah, they're nice. Like this is nice. I like those. So yeah, so far positive from what you know. Horus Heresy, oh that's crap. We're just gonna skip that. Who cares? Nobody cares.
Jagati Khan, Warhawk of Trogoris.
Yeah,
Master of
I've
the
seen
Fifth Legion.
Yeah. So he's
The
like
final
a
Primarch.
he's like a Mongol.
Yeah.
Wearing Space Marine suit.
Yep.
That's what it gives me, like the Gengis Khan type vibe.
Yep. That is the vibe that Space Marine Legion is going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not just me.
They are Khans.
I mean
they live on the steppes. They
too many
do
details,
calligraphy.
but too many small details.
He's going to be about that.
It's a bit
big.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Foot to head.
Yeah, it's a nice centerpiece. Yeah.
So like all the stuff that he's standing on is a display base.
Yeah.
So where his feet are, there'll be a little bit that comes off on the back, and there'll be a gaming base that you can slot out that will be stood on. So like the
cool
display base is going to be that big, but he'll actually be on that sort of size base for gaming.
Just like they did for Mr. Thanos.
Yeah, well, I've got all the other Primarchs so far up there.
Which I still... Wow, look at this. It's a base I have not finished. What a shock. That's his throne. And it goes, like, his base actually goes in here. And then he's standing like he's walking down. But that's actual, like, the whole freaking huge base, which I have not...
As far as the Horus Heresy stuff goes, we saw that Horus Heresy was one of the game lines that they'd be announcing something for. So me and my friends were like, "Ooh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be?" So we were like, as long as it's not like a random...
So what, this one? Ragdoll? A
random character that nobody cares about, or like a generic character that nobody cares about. I'll be happy.
No, yeah, well, it's cool that it is.
And the last of the Primarch series for now is a good thing. We're still waiting on them to actually announce the new starter set.
Are they gonna do like a 9 editions of Horus Heresy? You think?
The general
like
consensus,
a new edition kind of thing.
The general consensus is it will be an evolution of the 7th edition rule set.
Okay. Which would be cool. I mean, if they come up with something that it's good that they did not kill that timeline. When they see that people are still playing and so on, you know, like they actually continue to provide for it. That's cool.
Like I said in the last episode, there was a Horus Heresy article in last month's White Dwarf,
and there's another one in next
we've
one.
We've had the contents page potato cameraed for this upcoming White Dwarf, and there's a Horus Heresy article in that. Something's coming. It will probably be the starter set that we've seen the back of like 4 months ago.
Oh, that would be cool.
That Workshop have refused to acknowledge.
Well, because probably it's either stuck somewhere or they're you know like having issues and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So find out more. One more thing. So that was the little squid.
That was the red gobbo
on the thingy.
I've actually put a picture of him on the show notes.
Yep. So that's for the Christmas.
That is the Christmas miniature.
Thingy, yep.
It's the red gobbo. He's coming to deliver all the good boys and girls sticks of dynamite down the chimney.
Then you have
the revolution.
What's that? Oh yeah, that one I've seen. The
Chimeric's lizard cat thing.
thing, mixed thingy with feathers and stuff, and cool. I like it.
It's like the Mind Stealer's Phalanx, but
that would be, you know, like regardless of what game you're playing, like you're playing any sci-fi game, that's one encounter you can have.
Yeah.
Like you play Stargrave or 5 Parsecs or Space Weirdos or whatever, like any of those games, you can have that thing popping up.
Yeah, it's just a random beastie that you can have.
Yeah. It's pretty cool though. I really like it. There was some other didn't they show other stuff for this? Not just the cat, but they've shown some other dude, no?
Don't think so.
Dude? Was it not for Nick? Oh, I don't know where I saw it. Right,
if they did, I blanked over it.
But yeah, Necromunda I think's got some cool models. So yeah. And you're finished with what we were talking about.
Roma ad Astra finished. That raised 61,000
nice
Canadian.
Cool.
Out of the 2,000 goal.
Damn. That's
he's almost caught up sculpting all the stretch goals he didn't think he'd have to sculpt for
cool.
a while.
That's nice. Well, that's really good.
So, didn't unlock everything, but the stuff that we didn't unlock on the Kickstarter will be coming through the guy's Patreon and then onto his My Mini Factory page.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
In eventuality.
He won't. Yeah, he'll keep populating the universe.
Yeah, I mean, like the stuff he did for the Lunar Auxilia Kickstarter, he's still putting models out for that range that weren't even like anything.
Oh yeah, no, like yeah, if they were just ideas and he thinks they would make cool models, yeah, that's good. If he continues, that's definitely a plus. All right, cool.
Yeah, that is my news.
All right, well, so my news. So last time, let me just put this down. Last time I talked about Senjutsu, Battle for Japan. Kickstarter is still going on for a few more days by the time this video comes out. Oh, actually no, 67 hours. So by the time you see this, it'll probably be over. They've passed $1 million.
Nice.
Yeah. Quite an extensive stretch goals, add-ons. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things now. I think they have it all in now. Yeah, all in gameplay, with pretty much all the expansion, all the stretch goal, everything. Still, they're cranking out battle reports. I've seen a few. Too bad they're playing in like a hole where there's other people, and so it's a little bit noisy. But very interested about the gameplay. It's card driven. The minis are really cool, don't get me wrong, and I love the minis, but I think the game itself is pretty interesting. That whole game, that old card game reveal thing, I think is pretty cool. One guy that I follow on YouTube was complaining about some aspects of the game, that it was not like you were waiting too much for your cards. You know, like you know, like you needed an attack and you could never get an attack. They remedied at this already, and I don't know if they listened to him or if that was a concern from other people as well, but they've already improved that, where there's a card that you have that's always with you, where you can fish cards out of your deck. It costs you focus and cards that you need to discard and so on and so forth, but it is like not a last resort, but it is like, oh, I really need this, let me just go fish for it, kind of thing. So I think they've improved the game, they've improved the cards, they've improved as they have moved on. So really still happy about that one. So yeah, by the time you're watching this, like I said, they'll be done, but they're doing really, really good. The other one, and that one's probably still have a few more days, Monsterpocalypse. If you don't know, Poverty Press came out with that game a while back, and so it's basically your big monsters. One needs to destroy some specific objective, the other one needs to defend. So defender and villain, yeah, I don't know what their villains are called, but anyways. And it used to be a miniature games where you would buy your faction and then you will start buying new, you know, like you will buy your miniatures, your monsters, its troops, and so on for your faction, and you will build your faction just like you would any other tabletop games. They've sold the licensing, so not the game, but just the licensing. They've given the licensing to Mythic Games to create a board game version of Monsterpocalypse, and so it's out. They've already reached $586,000. They still have 9 days to go, and they've just already have like so many expansions and add-ons and stuff, and so they've new factions and new monsters and stuff, and some really cool looking minis. So yeah, all on Square basis, so it's a little bit weird to see stuff on Square basis, but because of their game, it's a proper board game. In my opinion, it always been a board game. But yeah,
they might
fun.
have that available to look at on Saturday.
Say what?
There's
Here?
a
You have
wargaming trade show on Saturday that I will be going to. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Alright. Cool. Something that I didn't talk about it last time was the Silver Bayonet. So it is out. It was a pre-order before. It is out. I received my confirmation that they are sending me my stuff. What I'm doing for Frostgrave, a lot of things will work with Silver Bayonet. Not too much the terrain, but a lot of the monsters will be pretty close. So
the
that's pretty cool.
alternate history Napoleonics thing.
It's the Napoleonic horror skirmish game where basically some powerful dudes are siphoning the horror and terror and violence from the people. And so because it's the Napoleonic Wars, they're just enjoying it. And so yeah, they are each nation created a team of supernatural hunters kind of thing. So yeah, and so you have different nations right now. North Star Miniatures, they came out with the French, the English, and the Spanish as 3 faction that they made the minis for. They're metal minis, but it's okay. And they will probably do a second wave with the Prussian, the Russian, and the Prussian, the Austrian, and was another one? Prussian, Austrian. Anyways, another 3 nations that were in there as well. So yeah, so hopefully we'll get that, and I will also, as soon as I receive, I'll probably do an unboxing. I still need to unbox the expansion for Defiance, but anyways, news from Atomic Mice Game. So finally released, coming in the US. For MCP, you've got Dormammu, Blade, and Moon Knight. I've already been charged for it. They are gonna probably send it this week because it's supposed to arrive on the 14th. I think it's the official release date. And what they do is, not Atomic Mass Game, Team Covenant, they will send you. They know how long it takes to reach you, so they will send you that so that it arrives on the day that it's supposed to release. So I don't know if the release was supposed to be I think it was supposed to be the 14th, but anyways, or the 12th. So it's either gonna come around like Friday. I think it's should be Friday, because I think the release is usually on Fridays. But anyways, so hopefully I'll get my Dormammu, Blade, and Moon Knight this Friday, which would be awesome. Next month, December 10th, release of the Rival panel, the first Rival panels, Spider-Man vs. Dr. Octopus. Cannot wait to get that one and to build it. It just looks awesome. And then a bunch of the, how did they call it, Mystic, I think, wave or something like that. So Mordo and the Ancient One, Dr. Voodoo and Hood, Doctor Strange, the second one of Doctor Strange, and Clea, and the Sanctum Sanctorum Terrain, which is the Doctor Strange building, basically, which I do not take the buildings anymore, so I've not got those, so I don't want the buildings. They're just, I think they're a little bit pricey for what they are, especially when you have a 3D printer. I think you can find better, well, not better, but you can find alternatives that are gonna be almost as good. Yeah, almost as good for probably $10, where this is costing 80.
Yeah.
And even in filament and time and all this, it's never gonna be that much. So yeah. Also, Star Wars Legions are getting November 26th, so it's still a little bit away. Radognas Fluttercraft. So that's it's a weird looking craft. I'll put a picture, it's gonna be easier. The super tactical droids are coming. Those looks pretty cool. And then on December 3rd, the infantry support platform, the tank droid, the dwarf spider droid, which I think is really cool. Just like, and the Magna Guards, which we all know from episode 2, I think they were in there. The ones with the stick that are the on top, that are basically supposed to be made to fight Jedi, and they always get their asses kicked, but yeah. MCP also, a lot of cards have been updated. Some new ones again updated today for the Black Order. So that was pretty cool.
I saw that tweet. I was like, "Ooh, I'll find out about that later."
Lots of, yeah, well, so a lot of cards, I've posted them on my Twitter and on the Facebook, a lot of updated cards for MCP, especially the first. So we've had the Guardians, we've had some of, well, the Guardians, we got some of the Avengers, well, from of the core box, and what else did we get? Some of the Black Panther, so Wakanda faction, and now we're getting those the Black Order, so we'll continue looking at some of those updates. But yeah, so far pretty good. Some of them you're like, they could have gone just one little step further. Also what's some of the Spider Foes also got some updates, but anyways, so yeah, a lot of updates. X-Wing and Star Wars Legion got some updates as well on the rules. MCP a little bit, but they have not made them official quite yet. So we're waiting on those. But Star Wars Legion, some updates that were not met with like being very... Well, no, Star Wars Legion was okay, but the X-Wing, the activation thing, I think got everybody wound up. That made no sense, but I don't know. Again, we'll need to see on this one what's going on, but yeah, we'll see. Again, not a game that I play, so I'm not too sure about that.
I played the first edition.
Yeah, and a lot of people still do play first edition on X-Wing, so yeah. And a lot of people are saying, is it X-Wing 3.0 now because of all the rule change and how different it is and blah blah blah? And so people are already a little bit pissed off. I think they should have pulled it a little bit, not push it as much. But anyways, Corvus Belli just released another game, which is a skirmish game, tag raid, basically robots fighting each other, mining minerals as they go. I'll put the link to the Kickstarter. I won't. There's a lot of metal in there. I'm still not a big fan of metal. And Corvus Belli, awesome, but I still have Infinity Defiance that I need to build completely and play before I back anything else from them. That's gonna be my goal. Talked a lot about Rome Total War for a long time, and I was wondering how they were gonna do the games. I don't know if I talked about it already last time, but it's gonna be a card-driven game. So the armies are gonna be cards, and they're gonna play. And I think I talked about it already. Kind of like, so minis for the armies on the map. They're gonna be minis, basically just representing each of your armies. So it's gonna be like a Risk type minis, I think. Like, oh, this is my army. I have, you know, like maybe if you have 10, you know, 10 infantry, then that's one guy. And then if you have another 10 infantry, that's another guy. And if you have 5 cavalries, then that's this guy. And so on and so forth. It's kind of like representation of the strengths of your army on the board. Maybe that's how it's gonna, like, I think that's how they're gonna represent it. So not as much minis as I would have liked, but again, difficult to do the upgrades and everything every time. So we'll see. But so far I've seen a couple of things. The guy that does it is really well, like, the super knowledgeable as far as history and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll keep tracking on that one. And finally, my last news. Yep, my last news is WizKids. WizKids are gonna release paints and sprue minis. So they've apparently already sent some to some YouTubers and things like this. And I think that Goobertown got a few and build them and everything. Really interesting as far as like main characters. I can see the appeal to have, because you can customize with multiple parts. So again, instead of having the base WizKid little mini of like the wizard, you can have the wizard with a lot of different parts. I don't know, like the price seems reasonable for a single mini. They don't seem very reasonable for multi parts, like you would have the North Star that I've already shown, where you can have like 20 minis in a box for, you know, like $15, yeah. $20 tops. So yeah, not that level, but again, we'll see how it goes. If they price them the way GW prices their minis, as far as, you know, a box of 5 dudes for that much and so on, that might work. But again, they need to have the details and everything, which I don't think they would have, because they're just starting. So I don't know.
They're absolutely going into competition with Workshop.
I mean, you can see.
Stuff, so
yeah, and they'll have
had smart people work out.
But they have the license. Like nobody else can call. You know, like they're in the pictures that I've probably gone through on the screen. There's a beholder. You've had 20 million different representation of the beholder, but the actual name beholder is for them. It's a D&D character, blah blah blah. It's trademarked and all this. Nobody else can call it this monster beholder, and so on and so forth. So there's some that are, you know, like generic. But there's some monsters that are very specific, that are just, they're D&D. And you can see, like, in the pictures, and I will try to extend so that you have time to see, but they have, like, you can see the different parts, and you can see the multi-part kit and so on. And so, like, you can have an arm this way or that way or another way, holding a bird or a cane or freaking staff or a crossbow or knives or sword or shield or double axe and one way, double axe another way, and so on. So they are putting thought into it, and I think that, again, for like main characters, super interesting. For foes that you're gonna encounter, big monsters, yes, a beholder, I can see the appeal to have like a big monsters that look super cool and that yours is different from other people's. But other than that, yeah, I don't. They need to be careful on how they price it and everything. So yeah, but again, cool idea, pretty cool. I think it's cool.
They'll have considered the big workshop shaped elephant in the room.
Yeah.
With regards to stuff like that, and
but again, I don't think they compete on the same market at all.
Even like people like North Star who just do like.
Yeah, but North Star don't do D&D characters. GW, they don't do any D&D characters.
Well,
so this is the thing. They
haven't for many years.
They haven't, or they have.
They haven't for many years.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing. They have that opportunity that people playing D&D and a lot of other RPGs that use D&D based monsters and books and stuff, a lot more people are doing miniatures, proper miniatures, and doing RPGs with miniatures, which they did not used to do. And you have what's his name? 3D printing DM that does, and he used to, I mean, he was printing minis for his D&D using FDM printer already way back. Now he switched to resin because everybody's doing resin. It's a lot, like the quality is so much better and so on, but he was doing already that. Black Magic Craft, who's doing a lot of terrains and things like this, does a lot of pieces for, like, he's starting doing the same thing for his D&D campaign. And I think that's where you're gonna see the appeal. Like, a lot more people are gonna start doing that. A lot of
people are gonna go to the WizKid stuff because it's the official stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
and don't get me wrong, like even
this and Hasbro logos on it.
Who doesn't have any freaking I mean, look at this. Like, here you go. WizKid. Like, I have them. Like, those little, like a little goblin or whatever, and like she's, I don't even know what she is, but like an elf with a like they have those minis that you can buy. The one that I show from my son last time, the Greek. So same thing, like those are all WizKids. They're good minis. Like they're really nice minis. So there's already the ones that you go and you have. Oh, let me get a pot of contrast paint and blah blah blah. Oh,
yeah, because they're all pre-primed, aren't they?
Hey, that's a cool little monster for 2 monster for $5. Let me grab that. Like pretty much that's how we grabbed the Greek with my son. Like he was like, "Hey, can I get those?" I'm like, "Sure." And yeah, here we go, painted and done. And so yeah. So I think that could be that. They have that market for themselves that really could be very interesting for them to exploit. And again, like you said, if they've done enough research, and I think they have enough smart people to have done the research and found the proper way to print and do all this, then I think they will be okay. They can do some really nice product. So yeah. We'll see, but hopefully. And that was it for my news. So yeah. So how's everything looking on your side?
So far today we have focus. We've got the base plate down. We have got the main colour on the scales down. We have based the silver for the metallic blue, and we've got the metallic blue over the top. And we have started the red on the mount.
Okay.
And your man himself has had his cloak and his helmet plume. Done the first layer of red on that. I need to go in and do another layer on the other side of that. So we are starting to look
pretty good.
There we go. That's what he looks like.
Nice.
So
Sub-assembly, yay! No, just kidding.
And he's going to ride around and give +1 attack to friendly
because he's on a
Redeemer.
cracker thingy?
That's just something he does, is he goes, "You boys, fight harder."
Oh, so he's a buffing type character.
And he goes, "Everybody near me, you don't need to take morale checks."
Cool.
And he hits fairly hard in a fight as well, so bonus.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Now, how's Mysterio?
Well, Mysterio has his green wavy thingy for the weird effect. Has a first layer. It takes a while, so I didn't want to go back over it. I'm probably gonna use fluorescent paint for the next step on that. The gold has been painted. It's okay. I'll probably wash it with probably either Skeleton Horde or the flesh one, Draconian Flesh or whatever. Wash, because that's usually what I do.
I normally use Reichland Flesh Tone.
Here we go. That's one. Yeah, Reichland Flesh Tone.
Flesh Shade. Sorry.
Flesh. Yeah. The wash. Yeah. That's usually either that one or the thing. I am trying to do the swirly thingy, which is working okay. I will do probably, I don't know if I'm gonna use a blue or if I might just use a gray instead.
You're doing the little dry brushy thing that we...
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't have a brush that's hard enough and old enough without spreading and putting freaking things everywhere, so I am trying to figure out which one will work best. And I'm trying to see, like, mixing some colors. Like I said, I'm gonna try a little bit of the, I don't know if I do straight green, straight gray, or if I'm gonna mix it with some and just have some string. I've been playing with it for the past literally 30 seconds, so I'm not too sure yet. So I'm gonna, yeah, no, now it's all gray. No string. Well, a little bit of striation. So yeah, not too sure yet. I might have to review that. I was thinking I might just put some ultra gloss Mod Podge on it. Kind of what I used on Mr. Lizard coming out of the water, like, to get that shiny effect, to put that on the globe. Well, it's actually not too bad. Yeah, I might just have to do it more stream by hand, or find something that can scratch the surface. I don't know. It's okay. We'll see. I'll keep playing with it a little bit, but yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much, I mean, for me, it's pretty much done. I might have to do gold. Well, yeah. You know, I'm not gonna do the base, so it doesn't matter. So, no, it's. I think I still have some work on it. Like I said, the gold wash, all the flamey, weird mystic thing. I want to fluorescent it, and so I'm gonna have to go back over it. That's for sure. and the globe, figure out what I want to do. Right now it's not looking too bad. I think I might just try to shove a little bit of blue into this just to make it, and I don't have any on my palette. Oh, I've got a purple. Let's see if I mix a little bit what color it gives me, and then I just try to do some artistic BS on it, kind of like Monet or something like this, you know, like the painting where it, that's not too bad. Like I said, with a little bit of shine on it, could look pretty cool. So anyways, I'll keep working on that. I don't know if I'll wait until the next podcast or if I'll finish it before. And yeah. So, well, again, 2 hours and some change. And we didn't lose your camera, woohoo!
Oh, well, I was just about to say, oh, we've got it in under an hour and a half. And then I remembered, oh, that's because my computer died.
Oh, shoot. Did you keep recording on Audacity?
I did. Audacity is still going. Audacity doesn't care about my internet connection.
Yeah, it's the internet, yeah. Right, it was not the computer. Well, I am gonna let you go. I need to answer a few emails that I saw coming in before, and so yeah. Cool.
Thank you everybody for watching our episode.
Yeah, like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. Leave comments below. Leave me comments in the other videos, the quick tutorial thing that I do. Let me know if you want to see more of those. I'll keep trying to record, like I said, as I go. With this project, I want to also do with this one, with the construction site that I'm gonna do. I definitely wanna. I want to do a. I keep bumping this. I want to do a time lapse of one of those printing, which I'm probably gonna do. I've already have an Excel sheet, well, fucking Google Doc, whatever sheet they call it, probably sheet. So I have one of those with already the plan of how I want to do the construction, what piece goes where, and so on. So yeah, hopefully my filament is coming tomorrow. So I will probably go through that 1 kilo of filament fairly quickly. I have another one coming next month. It's like a monthly thing. So yeah, couple of months I think it's gonna take me to build all this. Hopefully by that time Frostgrave will be done. I'm hoping that I can use a lot of those for the silver bayonet, which means that I can finish the silver bayonet. I have a giant house that my wife wanted, which I am gonna end up finishing painting and actually use for silver bayonet, because I think we can use it for it, because it's just a regular house. And I got some other terrain down there that I can use for, that I made a long time ago, that I can probably use for the silver bayonet. So yeah, so that's 2. And I have some sci-fi terrain. I need also the bad guys for Stargrave. And then by that time, probably I would be done with all these. At least printing all these, because that's gonna take. That's gonna take. I mean, I looked at it, and it's probably looking at 40 something hours non-stop of printing. But you can never do that.
No.
And so, I mean, if I can print even 6 hours, no, I think it was more than that. It was 3 days of constant printing. Like, constant printing 3 days. So that's gonna take 3 months, probably. Maybe not that much, but yeah, it's gonna take a while. So, again, I'll try to record my progress on this. Right now, so far, 1. I need another, well, 4x4, 3x3, 2x2. So, -1.
Several.
Several. Yes, and the beams and the walls and the other stuff around. So yeah. Well, thank you everybody again. Like, subscribe, below, everything. Blah blah blah.
Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter.
Join the Discords. I tend to try to post a lot of Kickstarter stuff, new videos, things like this. Other people have posted, you know, some of the mini they're working on and so on. So please come join. Put comments and stuff. Put comments in this one. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And thank you again. All right, and thank you, Liam. Bye, everybody.